Good morning. We are here this morning. We're grassroots activists who have been studying the issues, and we feel that the soon-to-be primary is going to be a very, very important thing, May 15th. So we've been studying the issues, and people are going to speak what we're thinking, and we represent working Nebraskans across the whole state.
Things that we are very concerned about is to make sure that people understand that we have a republic. A republic is a form of government that requires that people be educated and involved in their government so that they know what's going on and they can convey to their representatives what they want to happen. Without people being involved, they cannot do that. And so many of us had elected people in the past, and we said, oh, those people are good people. They come from Nebraska, they've got Nebraska values, we'll send them off to Washington and they'll do fine. But what we find is that when they get to Washington, they get under the influence of Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi and other people, and they become much more liberal. That's why we want someone with a long record of conservative actions. For example, Don Stenberg, in the 12 years he was Attorney General, only increased his office budget by 3% per year. That's basically the rate of inflation, whereas John Bruning has increased his budget in 7 years by 12% per year. Well, that's one place where we can compare. Don Stenberg went to the Treasurer's office and he reduced the budget by 13%. That's the kind of action that we want to see a senator make when he goes to Washington to reduce the federal budget. There's plenty of income coming into the federal government. There's too much being spent by the federal government. So we need a senator who can fight that fight and reduce the spending. Don Stenberg has that reputation and that experience.
I'm Glenn Flint. I'm Dwight's neighbor. I'm with FreedomWorks. FreedomWorks people came in and interviewed all of the Senate candidates from Nebraska, and they thought Don Stenberg was the best one to represent conservative values in the United States Senate. That's why I'm here to support Don Stenberg.
Don is the stability that the Senate needs. He is 100% conservative.
Don Stenberg has decreased the Treasurer's budget by 13%, which is the kind of signal that we want taken to Washington. We want budgets reduced. We don't want them increased.
Don is a natural-born conservative.
Likewise, I would say I know everyone is busy. You have kids to raise, you have jobs to go to, you have aging parents, whatever the responsibilities are. Lives are very, very busy, but you need to get involved, you need to do the research, you need to pay attention, because we have the longest lasting republic in history in the United States, and if we don't keep involved, we will lose that republic to some other form of government, and we don't want that to happen.
I'm also here as a Tea Party citizen, and I've been following events since the healthcare takeover, and I'm looking for a conservative senator that will represent my values in the United States Senator and not be seduced by the dark side of the force. I think Don Stenberg is that man. I'm here with FreedomWorks, trying to help them support Don, and please come see our debate. The debate next Saturday, February 11th, 9 a.m. at the Ramada Inn in Kearney. Don Stenberg, Deb Fisher, and Pat Flynn. Unfortunately, John Bruning didn't think that was important enough to come out to the voters and let them hear from him. So please come out next Saturday for that.
And I'm from Lincoln, representing myself as a passionate conservative. And my concern is, or what jumped me to Don Stenberg was his endorsements. He's been endorsed by Senator Jim DeMint, and that's the Senate Conservative Fund, Senator Mike Lee from Utah, FreedomWorks, Ken Blackwell, Mark Levin, the radio talk show host, Ed Meese, who was a former Attorney General for Ronald Reagan, Red State, and then Madison Project and the Vital Signs. He has a lot of conservative organizations backing him, and I decided to go with Don.
I'm from here on Grand Island, came out today to support Don Stenberg for the United States Senate. I just believe that Don, of the candidates that I've looked at, has both the foundational principles deeply ingrained and the experience in government that I think we need when we select a United States Senator.
We want to elect a senator who, when he goes to Washington or she goes to Washington, will not be influenced by the negative policies that have come out of our federal government recently. And so we think that a person with the consistent reputation and record of Don Stenberg will be able to go to Washington and fight off the temptation to go along to get along and actually get things done that the people of Nebraska will continue to support.
We want somebody that we can pick up the phone and talk to them and they'll listen to us.
Elect the person who's the most conservative person who can go to Washington and do what Nebraskans want done.
I do not believe that John Brennan is a conservative, nor will I believe that, and I do support Don Stenberg for the Senate.
Don Stenberg is the real deal.